Today's video, we're gonna talk about dates. How bad of a date have you had? Maybe on Tinder? Have you had any bad dates on Tinder? I personally haven't had any bad dates on Tinder. Haven't had a date on Tinder. But anyways, take a look at those who did have bad dates.
Gonna have to do the short version of the story, but to preface this, I did meet him in person once and he seemed normal. So this guy I met on Tinder invited me over to his apartment to make me dinner. Went on and on about how I was doing this gourmet meal. I get there and there's nothing cooking. And I'm like, where's the food? And he's like, oh, we're gonna cook together. And
At that point in time, if I showed up and they said, hey, I'm gonna make some dinner, and I would be like, this person's going to kill me.
I'm like, all right, cute. I'm like, what are we cooking? And he's like, oh, we're gonna make tilapia. And I'm like, okay, what else? And he's like, nothing. And I'm like, just tilapia?
Not gonna lie, I don't know what that is. So tilapia is a fish. Whoops, a fish.
Just tilapia. I'm like, do you have seasoning? No. So then we cook unseasoned tilapia in a pan with just butter.
So fish and butter. Cooked fish in a pan with butter. Huh.
I then start chugging the barefoot white wine he bought me because I just didn't know how I would get through this evening. We then eat the unseasoned tilapia on his futon in his frat-like apartment. Shortly after the gourmet tilapia, this man starts to make out with me, and I don't know how to say no
God,
because I'm an insecure.
So the term having fishy breath is actually legit? Is that where this little saying comes from? Man, your breath smells like tuna. Get the fuck away from me, dude.
22-year-old. He then goes, uh-oh. And I'm like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. What's uh-oh? He came his pants. Okay.
Whoa. What? If the date wasn't over from fishy breath smell, it should be over now.
Part 2 of the Tinder date disaster tilapia story. And yes, I know I pronounced preface wrong. It's not preface. But we all have our faults, and at least mine isn't ejaculating in my pants. And also, everybody's saying, oh, he was just trying, at least he made you dinner. No. So after the pants incident, no, I didn't leave right away, and no, I can't tell you what was wrong with me. So I'm sitting on the futon with a tilapia man, and all of a sudden, something runs across the floor. And at this point, I don't feel like anything's fazing me. I'm like, what was that?
Okay, so somehow this lady is still sticking around after all those red flags. What? I bet you that the little thing running across the floor was a cockroach or a mouse, one of those two. We'll see.
And he goes, my mom was supposed to take care of the mice problem. Homeboy lived in an apartment by himself. I don't know where his mom came into this.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna need to do a part 3. Okay, so this is actually part 3. So we're sitting on his futon.
What?
Something runs across the...
Part 3? That's like part 6. Like, what? Why are you still... How is she still there? Damn. Dude.
floor. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, it was a mouse. It was a mouse.
Called it.
Then he calls his mom.
Oh my God.
He's like,
Okay. Honestly, I gotta give this girl props. Like, she is still sitting in his apartment. Wow. Give her a trophy. Participation trophy, at least.
Mom, I thought you were gonna call the apartment complex about the mice. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, I need to go home, but I'm kind of tipsy. Then he proceeds to tell his mom that the mice problem is ruining his date.
Yeah. The mice problem is ruining the date. Yeah.
Oh boy, the date was ruined when you made me plain tilapia with butter in a pan and then in your pants, okay? Needless to say that I hate dating apps and I'm so glad I'm not on them anymore. Don't go to a house if you don't know the guy really well. And if he offers you tilapia with no seasoning, go home, bestie. You're so much better.
Nowadays, I'm kind of still surprised that women would go over to a strange guy's house in the first place. It's getting crazy out there.
Hi, Oversharing. How are you? Okay, so I was like an insecure 20-year-old in college, and this guy took me out on a date, like super religious, like saving himself to marriage, like the whole thing. Like, even got mad when I said bitch. Anyway, we went on a date and he seemed fine and cool, and then we went to Dairy Queen. Because of my small rural college town in Carrollton, that was the only place where we can get ice cream after. So then that's where he proceeds to tell me that he has a knife, or like a sword, hanging above his bed. Because when he was 16 years old, he was knighted in front of his friends as like his version of 16th birthday. So he has that sword hanging above his bed at his house. Then he invites me over to his place, where then he proceeds to like heavily pet me. And then after
Heavily pet you. You ever heard of Mice and Men?
the heavy petting, he starts humping my leg like a dog. Like
Lenny, calm down.
like a chihuahua. Aggressively humping me. And then he finished in his pants.
What is up with dudes finishing in their pants? Okay, maybe it's a new trend. I mean, if I hear one more of these stories where they're finishing in their pants.
I was like, it's time for me to leave.
Damn, at least this one was smart enough to leave early before he could call his mom about rodents.
Y'all better buckle your seatbelts, because this is a good one. Me and this girl,
Now, I'm really curious to hear this from a dude's perspective. This should be good.
and her conversation was going really good, right? We're talking for a few weeks, and finally she goes, hey, we should meet up. I was like, hell yeah, all right, bet. So we set a time and a place. And the day comes for us to meet up, and I don't hear a single word from her. Confirmation, no, I'm gonna be late, nothing. She completely ghosted me out of nowhere. Fast
Okay, so far, seems normal.
forward a few months later, I get a bunch of notifications from the same person on Facebook. The chick is heart reacting to every single picture that I post. I sent her a message and we start talking.
No, forget that. She probably found some other dude to mess around with. That didn't work out, so now she's trying to backtrack to this guy. No.
Go to ask for her number. I put it on my phone. Turns out, it's Tinder chick. At this time in my life, I was sowing my wild oats, as it were. The fact that I didn't realize that it was her isn't really surprising. Anyway, we start talking again and eventually set a time and a place to hang out again. This time, she didn't ghost me. Let me set the scene for you. She's like, we're gonna go to the ice caves. I was like, all right, cool, we're going to the ice caves. Swing through the
Never have I ever heard of any story saying, hey, let's go to a date in the ice caves. I'm not gonna leave you in there and kill you.
Burger King drive-thru. She pays for my food, obviously. Gets to the ice caves. I'm very out of breath because I'm out of shape. She's climbing all over the place. And
Bro, same.
I make a joke about dead parents. But to find out that her dad is dead. We end up dating for a few months, then we break up. We got back together and got married and had a kid.
If there was a long story short, what? That went from like 0 to 100 pretty quick. All right, date in ice cave.
This was gonna be mine and this guy's third date, and it was gonna be the first time we ever had to stay the night together. Well, he asked me to go to a hotel in Arlington so we could go watch the Rangers play. Halfway through the game, we go get nachos and beer, and he pulls me to the side, and he's like holding my hands in the front, and he's like, baby, I just want you to know I love you. And I'm like,
Really? All that blood went rushing straight to his head.
and after that, I was like, okay, I'm a little weirded out, but I already agreed to stay the night, and I'm like 2 hours from home. So we go to the stockyards after the games to go to some bars and drink a little bit. Well, he gets freaking plastered, and I didn't. My phone died. I asked to use his phone so I can call the Uber. He wouldn't even give me his phone, wouldn't give me his password. It was really weird. And then I used
Honestly, though, I mean, who would give you your, password to your phone right off the bat? But then again, he's hammered. I don't know. This is going downhill pretty quick.
some stranger's phone just to call us an Uber. As soon as we get in the Uber, he's like throwing up outside the door on the lady's car down the highway. So vomit going like 65 miles an hour.
Dude, that's so horrible. Imagine being behind this person in the car and just the guy's all like, just looking in front of you, seeing a dude just sticking his head out all like, chunks just going all over your windshield like a bunch of bird shit.
Okay, part two. So he proceeds to throw up everywhere once we get to the hotel, like all over this lady's vehicle, concrete, outside, like whatever. So I told the lady, I was like, I'll help you clean it up. Let me go change out of these heels real quick. Let me go get my regular shoes and I'll come help you clean it up real quick. So he goes to the room. I go upstairs. Of course, the door's locked. I don't have my card key. Go down to the lobby, get a new key made for the room, go open the door, freaking grabbed as much money as I could find out of his wallet to give to the lady because I was like, fuck this shit. I don't know the dude, so I think I...
Damn. All right, now I heard people being in panic mode before, but taking all the money out of his wallet, like, here. Also, is this a new thing or something for TikTok? Like, whoops, when do they do this? Oh, advertising on the side now.
Gave her like $300 or $400, whatever was in his wallet, and then went back downstairs. Well, obviously I changed my shoes. Went downstairs, helped her clean his throw up, went back upstairs and realized I left the key card in the room because I was so stressed out. So I had to go back down to the lobby, get a card, go back upstairs, get in the room with the key card, and then as soon as I get in the bed, he's butt ass naked with his little thing-a-ling just dingling around. And I was pissed off.
But he thinks after all of that, he's getting lucky. I mean, he's gotten lucky so far that, she didn't just straight up leave his ass. So, I mean, hey, go for it, dude.
So a few years ago, a guy from Tinder asked me out and we met up at this bar, and now I always like to wear high heels wherever I go because I'm barely 5'4", so I just like wearing heels. And I show up in
So she's classy.
heels. I didn't ask his height because I don't really care how tall he is, but I showed up in heels and I'm like towering over this guy, and I'm pretty short. And I could tell his feelings were like a little hurt because he's kind of like looking up at me like, So my motherfucking ass takes off my shoes, and I'm like, who need shoes anyway, So we sit down at the bar and he orders me a drink. And not even 10 minutes into our conversation, he starts talking to the girl sitting on the other side of him. And he orders her a drink. And I'm sitting over there like, hello.
Dude thinks he's a stud muffin. Wow, that's it's pretty ballsy. Pretty bold, pretty dumb.
He must have forgot about me. And yeah, never went out with him again.
At least you got out of that situation fast. Alright, so listening to these dating stories kind of helps me understand why there's a lot less dating going on in the world right now. Because, wow, I've never heard such a dude be such a doofus. But they're out there. Guys, if you liked the video, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. That would really help me out. I appreciate it. Getting close to 100 subscribers, and it's my first milestone. Maybe leave some comments in the box below to tell me what kind of videos I should do next. Y'all have a great 4th of July. Don't blow yourself up, and I'll see you in the next video.